Welcome to the Indie Beacon Show, where readers can discover great new books by indie authors. Your hostess for today's show is Mary Ann Faremouth. We hope you do enjoy today's show.
Welcome to the Indie Beacon Show, division of Authors Marketing International, an organization that supports authors and writers all over the world. My name is Mary Ann Faremouth. I'm a multi-genre author. And today I have the privilege and honor to be the host of an author that I am proud to bring to the show. April Coker is an author that's written 4 books. She taught high school English for 30 years. And she's such an interesting person that's done so many really cool, neat things that we wanted to have her on the show today to kind of give inspiration and let her tell her story a little bit to inspire others to see what can be done when you put your mind to it. So without further ado, April, introduce yourself.
Hello, I'm April Coker. My pen name is April Nunn Coker. Behind me I have the cover of my first Christian romantic suspense novel, The Keeper. And then in front of that is the sequel to that, Keeper 2, The Storm. Would you like me to talk about, Mary Ann?
Well, let's do this. Let's just start off with, tell everybody, tell our listeners out there how you got into writing. What inspired you to write? Let's start there.
Okay. Well, I told Mary Ann earlier that I've probably been a writer since I could hold a pencil, but and I would write stories, and I enjoyed writing stories in elementary school. But when I was in the 5th grade, I believe, I found a book in the library, Harriet the Spy by Louise Fitzhugh, and I probably checked that book out and reread it 10 times because everything about it just intrigued me and gave me a reason to write. And I believe it was the inspiration for me to start writing.
Okay. Well, that's great. That's that. I think a lot of people sometimes have one thing that, gets them to start writing and inspire them. So thank you for sharing that with us. And when we were in the Blue Room today, you told me about a zookeeper that kind of inspired you also. I thought that was kind of interesting. Can you tell us a little bit about that?
Yes. My husband, of 41 years, he just recently passed, but he was a zookeeper. He worked for 24 years at the local zoo here, and he was the supervisor of the night keepers who would work at night and supervise or look, check on sick animals, baby animals, clean the areas of the zoo that couldn't be cleaned while the public was there. And eventually they did even the security of the zoo at night. And so he would come home late at night after his night shift and tell me things that he had seen or heard at the zoo that they couldn't explain. It's kind of spooky. And there were only a handful of them, and it was dark. Everywhere was dark. They didn't have any lighting except flashlights and the lights they turned on in the exhibits when they were in those. But he suggested that I write a book. And so all of the stories, the anecdotes, the setting, everything in The Keeper and Keeper 2 are authentic to the zoo where he worked.
Well, that is really cool. That's really neat. And how wonderful that you had that inspiration right there in your own home to give you some great ideas for the book.
Yes.
And, I think it's interesting that you taught high school English for 30 years.
Yes.
I'm sure that that was something that really also was a real plus for you as an author. I mean, I'm sure that did contribute to you having a little easier time than most of us who write books. Would you agree with that?
I would agree with that. Grammar and punctuation and spelling have all been all come easy to me all my life. So that's not been a real problem at all. I do enjoy teaching that to other students. In fact, I still do some tutoring on the side. So being an English teacher and having that background is definitely an asset.
I guess it would be. Well, your first book I think you said was The Keeper, which is the one you have up there. And tell us a little bit about that book and what it's about.
The Keeper is introduces the characters who are zookeepers who work at night. The main character is a young woman with a single mother, has a little girl, and it's a romantic suspense novel. So there's romance in there. You know, she meets a man that she thinks is going to be her savior, her love. I'm not going to tell much about that, but there are twists and turns throughout the novel. It also has a Christian emphasis. So, you know, there are spiritual things in there, and hopefully things that would lead someone to ask questions about what Christianity is all about. But also in the novel, there are things that happen with the animals and happen to the animals. So it's kind of a mystery as they try to figure out what's going on. There's danger, there's scary moments, there's even murder. So it's definitely a suspense thriller.
Well, that is great. That sounds very interesting. And the other really cool thing about what you do, April, is that not only are you an author of books, but you have a blog and you've written for professional organizations. And I wonder if that interest in Christianity or Christian information kind of is something that spurs you on to help others and to put information out there to help us have a better world. Do you think that there's anything to that?
Well, I am a believer in Jesus Christ and have been since I was a child. And I just feel like my writing should glorify him and further his interest and his, I don't know what I'm trying to say. For a writer, sometimes I can't come up with the right words. But I did write a novel previous to The Keeper called Night Keeper, and it did not have a Christian lean to it at all. There were some things in it that, you know, my mother was kind of shocked at, things that I was not proud of. And so I felt convicted about that, and and I rewrote it, and that's how The Keeper came about. So it's much the same story. I did change the characters and some of the events and the setting to make it a different novel. But I feel like the work that I do should point people to the Lord.
Okay. Well, I respect that. And, you know, we have a couple minutes here yet, but if you had to say if there's a universal theme in all that you write, what would you say that might be? Is it about the greater good? Is it about mystery, taking chances? What would you say? Is there a universal theme that goes throughout your books, or are they all kind of different?
I think they're all different, but basically it's that the main character is going to find her way through all of the trials and problems that she encounters, and there's going to be a happy ending.
Okay, all right. Well, I think that's great. I think that, you know, I saw something not long ago, a plaque that said, grow through what you go through. And I think that, you
Yes.
know, what you're saying essentially is that, you know, whatever we go through, we grow through. And how wonderful that you know, you can put something up there. So it's all about that. So let's let our sponsors do their thing, and let's hold that thought, and we'll be right back. Thank you.
Hi, my name is Elle Ballard, and I'm the founder of Women of the World Network, a supportive entrepreneurial community of multinational women. I'm excited to announce we have second series launching for our anthology, Recipes for Body, Mind, and Soul, on April 7th. If you'd like to participate in any of our future anthologies or just check out our community, visit womenoftheworldnetwork.com.
Welcome to B4R.store, a bookstore for indie readers and indie authors, where indie authors can earn their fair share from the books you purchase. We have a wide variety of genres that you can select from. We also have ebooks and paperbacks. You can select authors by their first names, and we also have music. If you're interested in their city or country, we have that listed as well. If you are an author and would like to be on our bookstore, we have 3 options for you. There is a small minimal charge, or you can join our organization at authorsmarketing.org.
and learn how to better market and sell yourself. That is B4R.store, a bookstore for indie readers and indie authors.
Hi, I'm Charles Brakefield.
And I'm Rox Berkey.
Together, we write as Brakefield and Berkey.
Our techno-thriller series is 12 books strong, with book 13, The Enigma Tracer, planned for 2022.
Techno-thrillers are the cyber good guys versus today's darknet thugs.
We added our series prelude, Out of Poland, a 1939 historical novella, in 2021.
We also have 8 short stories available in family and women's contemporary genres, with more planned for 2022.
Please visit our website, enigmaseries.com, to learn more about why we say technology is today's weapon of choice. Thank you.
Welcome to the Indie Beacon Show, where readers can discover great new books by indie authors. Your hostess for today's show is Mary Ann Faremouth. We hope you do enjoy today's show.
Welcome back to the Indie Beacon Show, a division of Authors Marketing International. My name is Mary Ann Faremouth. I'm a multi-genre author. And today I have the privilege to be visiting with a real interesting author by the name of April Coker. April's written several books. She's been a high school English teacher. She's a blogger, and what we call, she's into glamp, too. Tell us what that's about. I thought that was interesting when we talked about that today in the Blue Room.
Glamping is a merging of glamour and camping. And not to say that people who glamp are glamorous, but we like to, it's usually females, of course, we like to bring a little bit of the glamorous life with us in the way that we dress, the comforts that we bring from home. We like to have as many comforts from home as we can. And I belong to a ladies camping group, and we enjoy decorating our campsite, decorating our trailers, kind of making it little individual dollhouses, if you will. But that's what glamping is. It's just a fancy word for camping and trying to make it glamorous.
Okay. Well, do you have anything on the docket for the future about writing, as far as anything to do with camping or glamping or anything like that? I know you have lots of real interesting, things that you have that you like to do, but does the future hold anything in those areas for you to write about?
Yes. I am right now in the final revisions for Keeper 3, Blackout, and that will be the final installment of the Keeper series. And I've also written a little companion children's book, ABC book, about zoo animals that goes with this series. But I would like to write some kind of something about the glamping, probably a mystery, maybe. I've got some things churning around in my head. I actually had a couple of ladies in my group ask when I was going to write something about camping. So that is something I've considered and I'm working on.
Okay. Well, I would think post-COVID, there's probably a lot of people out there that would be interested in that. So you talk about The Keeper, and then you talk about this third book that you're in the final revisions of. So Tell us again about the second book. What is the title of that?
The second book is Keeper 2, The Storm. The titles Keeper, Keeper 2, and Keeper 3 are actually a play on the ranks of keeper in the zoo, at least the zoo that my husband worked at. If you were just a Keeper 1, then you had just begun your career as a keeper or your job as a keeper. You could advance to Keeper 2, which gave you more responsibility, more pay. And then when you got to supervisory level, you were classified as a Keeper 3. And so that's why I did the books this way. But Keeper 2, The Storm, one of the keepers is a Keeper 2, and actually more than one of the keepers is a Keeper 2. But anyway, as you could tell by the title, there is a storm in the book that makes animal care much more complicated, and things that happen at the zoo during the storm and before the storm and after the storm. I mean, think about a storm or tornado or a hurricane hitting a zoo and what could happen. That's kind of the kind of thing that I tried to imagine in this book. And then Keeper 3 is called Keeper 3 Blackout. And a blackout refers to the power going out. And so it's going to explore that. So.
Okay. Well, that sounds like there, power going out or, blackout. I'm sure there's some metaphors there that people can relate to. With the last couple of years, we've all kind of gone through a blackout of one way or another. So did the last couple of years of what happened inspire you to write about that too, or no?
Not that I am conscious of, really. I just had this idea of the power going out. I guess maybe, no, I had started it long before. Remember last winter when the power went out for so many people for so long during the snowstorm?
Yeah.
It kind of, that helped a lot with the writing, but yeah.
Uh-huh. Yeah. Well, I can't imagine, I'm a big, what would happen at a zoo if the power went out. I'm a real big animal person. And so I can imagine that would cause a lot of chaos and a challenge for the zookeepers and the people that work there. So, I think that book will be something that people probably would get a lot of information, from. And the cover of your book, it's really pretty cool, pretty neat. Is that a particular person that you put on the cover, or is that just somebody that your artist designed? I mean, it's really really interesting. It kind of draws you in, the cover.
Well, thank you. That's exactly what we want our book covers to do. No, it's not anyone that I know. I found a book cover designer online, and she's actually overseas in a different country. We can barely communicate because she speaks a different language, but I kind of gave her the idea for my book, and she designed the cover. And then when I wrote the second one, I wanted it kind of flipped with a different animal. And so she did that, and she's already designed the cover of the third one as well.
Okay.
I don't have it
Beautiful.
available right now for you to look at, but it's along the same lines.
There's an animal on there. I don't see. I mean, I guess it's kind of dark, but
There's
what kind of animals?
This is looks like a jaguar.
Okay.
And this is a mountain lion.
Okay.
Right here.
Okay. Well, that is really cool. Those covers. I mean, we both know as authors that the cover is so important to people that are gonna, want to look at the book. So I think you did a wonderful, wonderful job. I like it. Would you consider the three of them like a trilogy? You have to read the first one to really understand the third one, or can you read them all separately and get this unique message?
You can read them separately because there's nothing in any of them that would make you have to read the first one. I mean, it would help, I guess, in understanding the characters better, but they're pretty much standalone novels.
Okay. And was there a reason for you to do a series of three and write about? I mean, did you finish first book and think, oh, I wanted to say this, but maybe I'll put that in the second book or the third book? Maybe I didn't finish enough here. I mean, how did you decide, like I said, to make it 3 books? Did you have certain things that happened to you, April, that inspired you to keep writing, or what?
I think it's what you said, that I just wasn't finished with those characters, and they had more to do, more to say. I will say in the first Keeper and Keeper 2, it's the same main character, and in Keeper 3, one of the minor characters from the second book comes to be the main character.
Okay, well, that is really neat. So for somebody out there that's, I mean, thinking, I don't know that this book has got enough content, would you tell them, don't worry, just, do what you do, or do what you can do to finish the first book, because there's always time for you to go on for a second? Do you think that's something that would encourage people to not keep writing, and not finish the first book, so you could always do a second one?
Well, I think I've been told it's a page turner, that they couldn't put it down, so it's pretty fast paced. And I think once you get to the end of the first one, that if you enjoyed it, that you'll want to go on to the next one.
Okay, all right. Well, let's hold that thought. Let's let our sponsors do their thing, and we'll come right back.
Each and every one of us has a mission in life. Mine is to help people laugh through the good times and the bad. My name is Charlotte Canyon, and I'm an author, a speaker, and a host on Indie Beacon Radio. If you need me to speak at an event or autograph my book, you can contact me at charlotte@charlottecanyon.com. Thank you, and have a blessed day.
Authors Marketing International, a membership-based organization where members learn how to better market and sell themselves. Join us at authorsmarketing.org. Welcome to the Indie Beacon Show, where readers can discover great new books by indie authors. Your hostess for today's show is Mary Ann Faremouth. We hope you do enjoy today's show.
Welcome back to the Indie Beacon Show, a division of Authors Marketing International, organization that supports authors and writers all over the world. We've been talking to April Coker, very impressive author that's written some real page turners. She's got a series of 3 books. And April, we talked about the cover, how impressive it is. We've talked about the fact that so many people have told you they're such page turners. So for our listeners out there, if they want to look you up or they want to buy your book, where do they go to find that information? Where they can buy those books and find out about you?
They're on Amazon. They're available in paperback and Kindle. Just type in my name, April Nunn Coker, or you can go to my website, aprilnunncoker.com, and order them directly from there. If you want a signed copy, I would suggest you contact me directly through my website, and I can mail you signed copy or copies. The pricing is about $15 each. If you order them directly from me, I can give you a discount if you order 2. I think they're $2.99 or $3.99 on Amazon for Kindle. I'm not quite sure, but basically, I think Amazon is the main retailer.
Okay, and we talked about earlier about your online blog. How can people find that? How do they find your online blog? Where is it?
There's a link to that on my website. April Nunn, Nunn, Coker.com. There's a link. And also, I do a monthly newsletter, sometimes do giveaways. If you want to sign up for that, I would love that. You can stay in touch with me that way. I'm easy to find.
Okay, all right. We just got about another minute here, but if you had to give our listeners out there a couple of tips about what's made your writing journey one of growth and expansion for you as a person and an author, what would you say to inspire them that is? What has writing done for you, I guess is what I'm trying to say.
Made me keep going, or I guess persistence. And I like to say that I can't not write. I am not happy unless I'm writing something. So I do a little writing every day, even if it's just my prayer journal or a journal or something. You just have to keep at it.
Okay, all right. Well, we're thrilled to have you on the Indie Beacon Show. Again, my name is Mary Ann Faremouth, and April Coker has written several books, but 3 of them that are in a series are called The Keeper 2, and The Keeper 3. She's on Amazon. You can find her at her website. And we are thrilled to have you with us, April, and we look forward to working more with you. So stay tuned to Authors Marketing International for further interviews, and we'll see you all next time. Bye-bye.
Thank you very much.
Thank you for watching the Indie Beacon Show, produced by B. Allen Bourgeois for the Authors Marketing International, LLC. Copyright 2022. Voiceover by B. Allen Bourgeois. If you would like to be a sponsor of the show, please contact us at authorsmarketing@outlook.com. If you would like to be on this show, it is free to authors. Simply fill out the form at indiebeacon.com. The music is provided by Happy Follows. The music is entitled